Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teresa, and I do videos every week because I don't do videos every week on whatever I want because I don't like putting myself in a box. And today, looks like I got like a side pony going on over here. I realized that I hit 2 years on this weight loss journey, and I have not talked about it. And I was like, what on earth do I do a video about this week? Realized I had hit 2 years on this weight loss journey. And then I was like, well, obviously, I'll do a reflection video on that. And then got all up in my feels because I won't lie. Recently, it's been really frustrating. And then I was like, holy smokes, I cannot believe it's been 2 years. So I started this journey, for those of you who are new on my channel, back in February of 2023. To be exact, I just went back on my clinic note from my doctor. It was February 8th of 2023. And I got asked in an interview, like literally job interview once, of like what made you get to the point of being able to say the words weight loss to your doctor. And that was a really good question. And we were talking about this because one of the questions was like, what was like the biggest achievement or something in your life? And I always bring up like my weight loss journey in interviews. And so I don't remember exactly what I said, but I think I said something on the lines of, I never knew what my medical history was or is. I still don't. Uh, Again, if you're new on my channel, I'm an adoptee. I have a closed adoption. I don't know anything about my medical history. And that honestly scares the living, insert word here. I'm not going to say it for fear of YouTube here. And so I don't know what I'm at risk for, and that scares me. I have adopted parents who do live with type 2 diabetes, and I see what that's like. And honestly, it was really eye opening to me as I got older that I didn't want to live like that. Um, my adopted dad is on medication for his diabetes, and he's on like 8 medications to manage it. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I don't want to be like that. And yeah, somehow my mom is only on like 3. And I'm like, holy crap. And I went to her last appointment and everything was like fine. And I was like, holy crap. And I don't understand it, but like, okay, cool. Good for her. But that's really where it started. And I also had to learn why I was the way that I was. I think too often when we talk about obesity, we obviously go to, oh, they just eat too much and don't exercise. Well, that was not the case with me. I actually had a rare condition when I was a child called precocious puberty, meaning I grew too fast. And if we didn't treat it, I could have gone through puberty at the age of 5. And so we had to slow down the growth, and I stopped growing at like when I was in 3rd grade. And so that was a whole thing, unfortunately. And because of that, it has a direct link to obesity, to childhood obesity. And I really do have to give props, though, to every single doctor that took care of me during that time and even after that. I didn't see a lot of doctors after that point, and to like my parents, because none of them ever said, "Oh, your weight's an issue, you have to lose weight." So I just do need to give a major shout out to them. And so I did have to learn for myself about that condition and learn that that is the reason why I ended up being obese as a child. I'm going to apologize now if you hear a noise. My neighbor is actually up and functioning right now. He usually isn't. They actually usually aren't. So I'm guessing they probably have to go to work today, and that's why they're up and functioning right now. So I apologize for that. But that's kind of where it all started. So I ended up growing a very good connection with my doctor um, by 2023. Because, yeah, we would have met end of 2021 in December. Literally went through a lot of stuff in 2022. And honestly, I did not link it to being obese. I honestly linked it to just being stressed out and overly involved in the church, honestly. And yeah, none of it ever occurred to me of like, oh, my weight is the issue here. So 2023 had hit, and I was like, okay, I feel comfortable with you enough to say the words weight loss. That's when we started Fenterman. And so I did Fenterman up until December of that year, taking the required breaks. I ended up losing in total 58 pounds, and I was really proud of myself. As somebody who also has dyscalculia, I will say that I think it's pretty normal for us to not set goals in our lives. I've never been somebody to set goals in my life, honestly. And I kind of thought that was mostly because I've been around people who plan out everything in their life. That goes back to like high school, a specific high school best friend of mine who I don't talk to anymore, who had everything planned out. And I was like, I don't know how you can do that, because what happens when, life happens and it doesn't work out that way? Like, what do you do? And so I don't know. I've just never been somebody to set goals for myself. And honestly, the only goal I've really had in my life, in my 26 years of living, was to lose weight. And one of the goals I've kind of always had was a specific number when it came to weight loss. The first number being get down to 150 pounds, which I have done. And I've kept off 150 pounds. I've actually kept like below that. Even after like gaining some weight back, I've kept below 150 pounds, which I'm very, very proud of myself for doing. Um, and then my next big goal is, and I don't know if this is possible or not, is to get down even further than that, which has always been the main like number that I want to get down to, which for me, being 4'11", please keep this in mind, I'm 4'11", which again goes back to precocious puberty and like my growth issue. I do want to get down to at least like 115, 120. But if that honestly can't happen, I'm okay with being like 125, 130, somewhere in there. I do know now, because I did DNA testing, that I am predisposed to weigh more than average. So I'm okay with being like, honestly, in the overweight category. I'm fine with that. So having a BMI of like, excuse me, of 25 to like honestly 26 or 27, I'm okay with. Yeah, I'm gonna get some water here. But my goal has always been to get down to like 115, knowing before I wanted to actually stay on medication to like manage my weight, um to then go up like 5 pounds, always with the mindset of like, okay, you're probably going to gain at least 5 pounds back, and then manage it from there to then be like 120. So, yeah. Um, so there's that. Um, and so now it's been a bit of a struggle after December of last year, 2023, because yeah, 2024. Yeah, right? 2024? I don't remember. Yeah, 2024 this year, whatever. I ended up gaining 14 pounds back. Yeah, this is correct. Never mind. This is where I think I get correct. I ended up gaining back like 14 pounds, and I didn't really understand like why. I knew it was completely normal to gain back weight after going off of weight loss medication. I just didn't know like how much weight, and I know that's so hard to navigate through because everybody's different, but I didn't know at like what point will your body like recalculate and even out. And one of my biggest things was every month, obviously, I'm a woman, I have a period, I am on birth control. And so the thing is, like every month, if I'm gaining 2 pounds on my period and I can't lose those 2 pounds, or even if I gain a pound on my period and I can't lose that 1 pound, that's an issue for me. Um, so if all I do is gain and gain and gain, that's an issue, you know? That trend is going to create problems, right? So, fought with my doctor for months to go back on Fenterman, went back on it. It really wasn't doing anything. Um, then we ended up adding Tobermate to the mix. The lowest dose wasn't doing anything. I was literally maintaining, which was really good, honestly, to see, just because then I'm like, okay, honestly, if she's okay with doing a like weight maintaining medication, then that would be a good one to do. Um, and then we ended up upping it, and I lost weight with that. And then because my insurance coverage, I was coming off of my parents' insurance, um, I ended up coming off of it and gaining back what I had lost, which wasn't much. It was like 5 pounds. And I was able to still do Tobermate alone, which I also maintained on that. Honestly, I obviously gained back that 5 pounds, maintained on that for honestly months, until the very end. I literally gained 2 pounds on the at the very end here, because I had to stop in October. This is where I was off here mentally because I stopped Fenterman in October of 2024 because it was like 6 months at that point. Um, and then we tested hormones because I was like, is this like a hormonal issue? And so we tested that. It all came back normal. Um, and then, yeah, like I said, I literally maintained the entire time off of Fenterman and just did Tobermate. I did Tobermate 100, I believe. Yeah, for the most part, for the entire months until I saw my doctor again this February. And literally until February, I gained 2 pounds, went up to 145. So I maintained 142 until I saw her in February, which 142 was where I was the entire time, like where I started when I went back on it in like the spring of 2024. So yeah, and then we just went up in dose again recently, and I did end up losing a pound this week, which I'm really happy about. I'm praying to God that this has been the key that we've been looking for because I just don't know where to go from there. My BMI doesn't qualify me for um, injectables, and I don't want to do injectables. I also like mm, I'll be starting a new job, and like just money wise, I don't want to be doing injectables, especially with the fact that my insurance isn't going to cover that. My insurance also doesn't cover the weight loss like visits I learned. And so even though my weight loss medication here is cheaper than it was in North Dakota, um, the visits are not cheap here. So that's been a great thing trying to plan like financially as well. So that's something to just like bear in mind. Just depending where you live, obviously. So just for like reference, I moved from North Dakota to Montana, and out of pocket, Fenterman was $35 in North Dakota. In Montana, it is $14 out of pocket. My insurance never covered weight loss medications, no matter where I was. And so that was a huge difference. And I'm very happy about that because I would gladly pay $14 here than $35 in North Dakota. I don't know how much Topermate was in North Dakota compared to here. Here it's a couple cents, depending on the like dosage. I could look honestly from North Dakota because I did keep all the like things from the pharmacy, but it's in the other room. But yeah, the visits are not covered with my insurance here. So yeah, my parents' copay did cover the weight loss like visits or whatever in North Dakota, but here they are wickedly expensive, and so my insurance just doesn't cover that. So even though my medication is very cheap here, the visits are not cheap. So that's fun as I'm trying to like budget in case anything happens with this new job. Trying to plan like months in advance financially because I don't think I don't know. I don't think I don't wanna put a timeline on anything weight loss. Obviously, it's really up to, like, what my body can do at this point. Obviously, I wanna lose the 14 pounds that I had gained and get back to at least, like, 128 pounds. And ideally, again, if I can get down to, like, 120 or 115, that would be amazing, but yeah, I worked out numbers and stuff earlier this week to get down to at least, work out the 14 pounds that I had gained. It would take me, if I were to consistently lose 5 pounds a month, which would be a pound a week plus an extra pound 1 week, or, losing like 6 ounces 1 week and then another 6 ounces another week. It would take me 3 months. And then if I wanted to aim for, say, that 115, 120 range, it would take me about 6 months to get there, which would lead me up until my birthday. So, planning that financially, knowing what the amount is for those visits, which honestly, I'll be honest, for me with the visits, it's $230. Um, so I have a visit in June, 3 months after that, because it's 3 month intervals, would take me up into June, July, August, September. Take me up to September. So then realistically, if my body can still do it, then really September. Yeah, would take me to September, and then literally like a little bit in October, depending where in September we go till, because it would probably be like end of September, early October, which literally my birthday's October 7th. So kind of in there. But I don't want to put timeline on my body or anything like that. So yeah, I really want to not be on it for the entire year. That's definitely for sure. But we'll see. So that's fun. But it's been a journey. And like I said, recently, it's been frustrating because it's hard to see your body get down to where it can be and then struggle to get back down there. Because it's like, I know you can at least get down to 128. I know that. And it's hard to see it struggle. And it was hard being honestly at the doctor on Tuesday last week and hear that, clinically I was almost obese. And it's like, no, I'm not, because, like, again, knowing that being at the clinic, it adds 4 or 5 pounds because of what you're wearing and shoes. Oh my God, freaking shoes add so much like weight to, you know, what you're wearing already. And I was surprised it only added 4 pounds, honestly, because I was in a sweatshirt, a sweater, and literally had my boots that were like knee high. So I was surprised it was only 4 pounds, but interesting. Anywho, but I was like, oh, seriously? Um, but whatever. And so, yeah, it's frustrating. There's a lot of tears shed with it. It's a lot mentally as well, which I don't feel like a lot of people talk about. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. I think anybody can tell you that. And I love the fact that we have different options, that there is, other things out there other than, the injectables, because while yes, that's gotten so much attention, I don't like how much attention the injectables have gotten, and because there are other options out there, and cheaper options that work just as well, if not, I don't know, probably better for some people than the injectables. And so, yeah, um, but hopefully this is working. I'm hoping, in a month or two, I can get some good like data built up and see, okay, how much am I losing each month, to kind of see where I'm going to be. And I can kind of plan ish for the next few months, financially, and kind of save money. So, in case again anything job wise that happens, I'm good, I'm covered, because that's my main concern. I don't know, I just added an ed to that, but okay. Um, and yeah, I don't know, I'm really grateful for this journey and where it's gotten me. The fact that it's really built up this YouTube channel and this community, I've just gotten to really talk to a lot of people about health and wellness. And I'm so happy that all of you have gotten to connect to my videos in some way or another. And I'm just so thankful for that. And because I believe it is still International Women's Month, I think March is still International Women's Month. I know we have International Women's Day in March. I think the whole month is also dedicated to women. I would be really, I don't even know what word I was searching for right there. I really just have to give a shout out to my doctor, um, for a second, for everything that she's done for me, especially when it comes to weight loss and health, and helping me through that. It can be really hard for women, I know, in the healthcare field to talk openly about their weight and get the kind of medical care that they need regarding that. A lot of women go through certain situations where they just get shut down, where they don't get a doctor that explores all the options with them. And I just been insanely blessed to get the doctor that I have, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to move with my doctor and keep her. I think about that all the time, all the time, probably more than I should. Um, because I think about the fact that if I was still in North Dakota and she wasn't there, how miserable I would honestly be. I went back home a few weeks ago and I literally drove past the clinic. And even though I have my really good friend who's honestly like my twin flame there, I was like, it feels weird knowing that like my doctor's not there. Um, and so I just need to do like a huge shout out to her for just always being the doctor who's a good listener, who is extremely compassionate, and who doesn't like shut people down, especially women of color. I know that's an issue too for women of color. Let's see, and injectables are not cheap. Yeah, compounded versions seem to be going away. It's hard if you can manage to get weight under control before menopause. Do it. It's really hard after. Yeah, and that's a huge thing too. Um, when I don't know if you saw my last video or not, but when I spoke to my doctor about injectables just recently, she told me like they're being more lenient as far as like BMI goes, but she told me the cheapest was like $900 or something like that. And I was like, ew. I was like, gross. But before that, the cheapest out of pocket, and all of this was out of pocket, was like before that, it was like $1,000. Like we talked about it a few years back, and she said the cheapest was $1,000. And then she said the cheapest now out of pocket was like 900, maybe like even $800 like a month. By the way, all of this was a month. So paying like $1,000 a month, truthfully, I'm gonna be real. That's how much I'm paying for rent alone right now for a month. Like there's no way I could do that. Um so yeah, no. And yeah, honestly, I cannot imagine like trying to lose weight like after menopause. Like it's hard for me to lose weight now. Like before menopause. Can't imagine it doing it afterwards. Like the fact that I couldn't even lose weight like just as is, like without medication, like I can't. And yeah. And I know people are very, like, skeptical, yep, sure, words, about it all and about what the medication's gonna do with their bodies. I totally get it, because even though, like, I know, like, I don't want kids in the future, I still kinda question, like, if huge if I were to change my mind, how's that gonna affect everything, like, reproductive wise? Because I don't know, we don't have enough data yet to know that, and I don't think there's ever been a situation like mine of somebody really young in their early 20s who's lost this much weight, who then years down the road, possibly changing their mind about, "Oh, yeah, wanting kids, wanted to get pregnant," especially for me in my case being a lesbian, and going through like a whole different route, because with being a lesbian, you're going to have to go through a bunch of different things than opposed to a straight person. Um, and then, getting pregnant and then, seeing what the result of that is. So I definitely get it, but um, you have to have a strong reasoning of like why you want to lose the weight. And like I said, my reasoning has always been I don't know what my medical history is as a closed adoptee. And I think that's enough to be like, you know what, this is worth it. Um, so yeah, those injectables are not cheap. Um, and see, like that's the trade-off when I was talking about um the price. My visits for my weight loss stuff isn't cheap, with it being about $230 for me. That's not cheap, but then the medication's cheap, especially cheaper being in Montana versus North Dakota. So there's a trade-off there financially. So yeah, it's just really hard. And yeah, especially for women, it's just hard. Um, and hormones, man. Oh my God, freaking hormones. Like whether you're on birth control or not, like hormonal birth control or not, like that's just hard. And you never know what your body is like going through. Was it last month? I don't know if it was last month or like a few weeks ago. I don't remember when, but I was just getting pimples like out of nowhere. And I was like, it is not anywhere near my period. And I was like, what on earth? Like, I was like, I don't think I'm stressed out. I don't think I'm anything right now. Like, what on earth? What is my skin doing? Like, I don't think it was like PMS week or anything like that. I was like, what is my skin doing? So that's also hard as is. Sometimes your body just goes through things at really weird times and we just don't know, you know? So, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all the reflection I have right now. I definitely need water right now. I've gotten more comfortable taking my water bottle into like stores now. Like I will take it going grocery shopping. And of course, when I did that last week, I didn't really need it. But I also will take it into like Walmart now because walking around, I just get so dry and then I will start like gagging because my mouth is so dry. So, so I think that is it, you guys. Yeah, but like I said, definitely huge shout out though to my doctor for everything. Weight loss related and not. Obviously she knows that. And um yeah, I'm so blessed because I know a lot of people just struggle to find the right doctor, and especially as women, finding the right doctor is challenging as is, and to find somebody who listens to you, who's not gonna blame it on this or that is also challenging. And that's a whole nother video. I could do a whole separate video. Um, I mean, I did a whole video on green flags and a doctor. So yeah. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. If you like this video, be sure to like it. If you stayed through this long, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your guys' support so much. And I love you guys so much. I don't say that a lot. I'm just so blessed to have the community on here. Um, as I kind of grew up in a family that was skeptical about this stuff and really questioned it and is supportive, but supportive with also concern, I'll say, and valid concern. So thank you all so much. Again, like this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe down below. Hit the bell for notifications. I post every weekend. And I will see you all later. Bye.